All right, I am feeling really good after a therapy appointment, and so I wanted to share it with you. So let's get into it. So if you hear Winkle meowing, he's over here. He thinks it is dinner time. It is 45 minutes before dinner. And then I have Aurora on this side, and she also is gonna think it's dinner time, so bear with me. Also, it feels like it is getting a little windy. So hopefully the wind is not too bad. I feel like it is just when I wanted to get started. Also, I felt like my day was going so well because I literally had a therapy appointment being like, wow, I have come so far. I was basically celebrating my wins, feeling so good. And then I went to acupuncture yesterday, and so I'm feeling energized today. I was like, oh my God, I might try vacuuming. And then I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can just see right there. I jammed my thumb right after that. I was reaching into this like metal cubby and jammed my thumb really hard. Well, there's my Winkle boy. Do you want to come here? See if he'll come on camera. Here he comes. Come here, buddy. Hi, sweet boy. Come on. Oh my God. This is Winkle. This is my semi-feral boy, we call him. He's so cute. He's such a big man. Look at this man. Because he still runs if he hears like a noise that he doesn't like, and he barely will sit on my lap. But he will also start to purr sometimes, and he gets into it. He gets into it. But he's just learning how nice being on a lap is. So we'll see how long he stays. Now Aurora is jealous. What a roller coaster of emotion today is. So anyway, I jammed my thumb really bad. I actually thought I might have jammed it like badly or broken it or something, but I think it just broke the skin. Winkle is still here, but he is ready to, oh, are you gonna stay? Oh my God, I'm chosen. Aurora is in the crate because she screams at the door to come outside unless she's let out, and she's an indoor cat. She would run off if she was not in the crate. Silly goose children. Anyway, back to therapy. These are just life updates I want to tell you all. And after acupuncture yesterday, oh, there goes Winkle. Hi, buddy. Okay, thanks for gracing me with your presence. After acupuncture yesterday, my joint pain felt so much better. So much so that I'm wearing rings today. 2 here, 1 here, 1 here. I feel so inspired and so excited. These rings over here are dates for my minimalism journey when it started, 3/7/23. My second ring is my second spiritual awakening date, 12/30/24. And then this one is when I contracted Lyme disease and got really sick, which was 6/10/12. And these just remind me that like any day, anything can change, anything good or anything bad. So it's kind of like a little memento mori. Remember that things can change at any time. A little bit of a more fati, like leaning into how much I want to embrace fate and the things that happen. And then this ring is super cute. I don't know, I was inspired to wear it. You can see it a little bit there. It is a fox and a little tail, and it's actually gold. I don't normally wear gold, I only wear silver. The other ones are all silver, so I'm doing a little bit of metal mixing and matching there. But anyway, getting back to the main topic I want to talk about yet again, I just feel like I have come so far. Even thinking about 6 months ago, this last spring, where I was and where I am now, mentally, emotionally, physically, I'm still doing really not good. However, comparatively, let me do some comparisons for you. This last spring, I was so overwhelmed, so overstimulated, so stressed. I was responding to 0 text messages, 0 emails. I wasn't really able to do a lot of creative stuff because I just didn't have the capacity outside of doctor's appointments. So doctor's appointments were like all I was doing, and I would just come home and crash and be out on the couch for the rest of the day, and I would have no capacity to even sit up. And my parents, you know, have continued to be my caregivers, so they make all my meals and do all my laundry and all of that, and they continue to do that. However, I couldn't even really like socialize with them necessarily. I would get so tired so quickly that I basically only had capacity to do the doctor's appointments, come home, crash. And now, since starting and finding this acupuncturist who I absolutely love and adore, since just doing some, you know, changes with my PCP who I absolutely love and adore, she's really got me into some lymphatic drainage stuff, different vagus nerve things. You know, I'm doing physical therapy, so I am doing so much PT. I have shoulder PT I have to do every day, I have Achilles PT I have to do every day, and then I have hip PT. Those I've all graduated, but I have at-home programming. And then for my TMJ PT, I just started that, and I have to do that 6 times a day. 6 times. That was 8, but I wasn't really trying to do the number, 6. It's a lot to keep up with, and so my at-home programming is basically just a lot of stretching and then a tiny bit of strengthening, but it's basically a workout for me. And so for me to have increased my capability from this spring not being able to do anything to now being able to do usually that at-home exercises, however, some days, my bad days, I don't do any of it, and that's okay too. Flexibility, that's another thing I was talking about a ton in therapy, was working on my distress tolerance and then my flexibility, and I've gotten so much better because also something that's changed was my autism diagnosis and realizing that I really need to stick to a very strict weekly schedule where I do one thing a day, and I have Saturdays are my rest and reset days, and then Tuesdays are my vlog days where I sit down, I record usually, and then I just spend the day editing and get it ready to release. And if I don't set aside a day to rest once a week and then set aside a day to do my vlog once a week, it doesn't have to necessarily be those days, but those are days I've set aside for it, then I do not do well. Or if I do 2 things on one day, if I go to a doctor's appointment and I also go to my physical therapy, that is too much. I become overstimulated, overwhelmed, I start to shut down, I'm stressed, my body is stressed, mentally I'm stressed. So I'm really starting to learn my limits, and when I stick to that weekly schedule, I am able to respond to text messages usually. I might get a little behind sometimes. I'm able to keep up on my email. Like, I feel so much more caught up on life and able to have capacity to do little bits of other things if I so desire, like working on my Substack or whatnot. Again, the capacity is still very, very low, and only doing one thing a day is incredibly limiting. Like, that is my capacity. So going to physical therapy, that is the one thing I do that day. Having a 1-hour social call, that's the one thing I do in that day. Going to my chiropractor, one thing I do that day. So like, very, very limiting. My social life is very, very limited because most of my month is literally physical therapy, acupuncture, chiropractor, my PCP, other specialist appointments. That's usually my entire month. And so finding a day to also try to do something social, usually my entire month gets filled by those appointments because my health is still my #1 priority. If I don't focus on my health and I get worse again and my capacity goes down, I can't do anything else anyway. And so that is still having to be my #1 priority, but I feel these little glimmers of moments where I just feel less stressed, and that helps with healing, right? Less overwhelmed, all of those things, which gives me more capacity to connect online with people, to journal, to write, to explore, to do those other things. So again, I want to really emphasize that I'm still unable to cook for myself. I'm still unable to do my own laundry. You know, I'm still unable to drive. Like, I'm still unable to do so many things. So my capacity is still extremely low. But comparatively to this last spring, I'm feeling so much more calmer, grounded, just like I have the ability, like the capacity to be more flexible in my day. It used to really bother me if something got moved around because I was in the fight or flight. So I would ramp my energy up for a social call, and if that social call got moved, I'd be like, I just wasted energy on ramping up and to be on, and now I've just wasted that energy essentially. So now I don't do that. I don't ramp up as much. I'm still on during social calls, but I'm not in the fight or flight. I'm able to be more grounded and have more capacity for things. I say that, however, at the end of every social call, usually I develop a headache because it's just a lot for my brain, I guess. Like at the end of my therapy today, I have a headache. So after recording this, because I just felt so inspired, I wanted to talk to you all, I'm gonna rest the rest of the day and literally try to, unless I have to do something, try to just do nothing else. So it's still very frustrating and the capacity is still very limited, but just seeing those incremental changes, like day to day we don't see them, but for me, looking back to this last spring and how far I've come, it's incredibly exciting, and I'm having the capacity to try new things and do things for my health that I haven't before. Like potentially I'm gonna try going dairy-free for a month to see if that helps my endo pain and my acne. I would not have been able to do that 6 months ago because it's a lot for me to do diets. They've been very triggering in the past. I have an eating disorder past, so that's very triggering too. But I'm at this place where I'm like, I wanna try for my endometriosis pain to see if it makes a difference. And that's really exciting, to have more capacity to try new things that potentially could help my health even more. and I'm about to start hydroxychloroquine, and I'm really, fingers crossed, hoping that that helps and hopefully it doesn't give me really bad side effects to push me back, because that's the other thing, like trying new things, especially medications, while yes, it can, oh, there comes the wind again. That's definitely going to be affecting my audio. While trying something new can have a positive impact if it helps, which the only two things that have really positively impacted my energy have been cephalexin, which is an antibiotic, and then prednisone, which is steroid, neither of which you can be on long term. You can also have negative side effects that can have long-term or permanent results. So for example, when I was on endometriosis meds, they cause neurological stuff like neuropathy, dizziness, all this other stuff. And the neuropathy is only now just going away. It's been 1.5 years and the other symptoms are not. And so it's just like you can have permanent, well, at least me, because I'm very, very sensitive to stuff. A medication can maybe positively impact me, but much more likely, at least in the past, according to my track record, to very, very negatively impact me. It makes trying new things very scary and nerve-wracking. So I'm really proud of myself for the capacity to try new things, and I've come so far in trying new things and working really hard on my morning routine so that I feel good when I, not necessarily good, I just don't feel as bad when I do my morning routine. And so like, yeah, just getting to this place, I'm really proud of myself. And that was kind of also a theme for my therapy and a call with my friend Kana on Sunday. She also gave me this hoodie. It's actually a set, so I'm feeling very comfy and cozy and connected to her. A whole branch just fell. Glad nobody was over there. She was reminding me, and my therapist was reminding me, to really celebrate those wins, be really proud of myself for how far I've come. And like, yeah, and looking back, I have come so freaking far, and it's been freaking hard work. I've done so much like mental health work too, and therapy every single week. And I'm so privileged and grateful to have the opportunity to go to therapy and work through so much trauma and, you know, try new things and process stuff. Like this was the first week where I didn't have like a major emergency to work on, and we had the opportunity to look back at how far I've come, which is saying a lot, because for the past several years, every single week, it has felt like I've had major emergencies, health-wise or just socially or whatever, to work on. And so I'm just really, really grateful at this place that I've come and I feel really good at. And so it felt good. And you know, who knows tomorrow what will happen, but I feel like the trajectory is just symptom improvement. But again, everything I've been diagnosed with is permanent. It is chronic. That's what a chronic illness is. There's no cure, but it's just symptom improvement, and day-to-day things change, but just trying to have a little bit of symptom improvement is the goal. So I will continue to keep you all updated, my friends. Thanks for being here. I love wearing rings. I have missed these rings so much. I'm using my hands so much more because I love these things. And so fingers crossed that we still keep an upward trajectory and we'll just keep on the journey. But really remember to celebrate your wins, because again, day to day you don't see them, but looking back 6 months, a year, even 3 months, I'm like, wow, I've come so far, and I'm really, really, really freaking proud of myself. And there's so much further to go and so many more things to try and work on, but like, this is huge progress and improvement, and I'm really proud of myself for doing all of that hard work to get here, because none of it has been easy. It's all been so hard, and I've been sick for, how many years is that? Over 13 years. So it's really nice to have a day like this, other than the bloody thumb. It's nice to have a day like this where I can feel like I've come, not so far, but over time I've come so far. Anyway, I'm gonna go, friends. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next one.